Hello, hello. Welcome to the play that changed my life. I'm Patrick White. This podcast is brought to you by Harbinger and OSM Studios, the podcast that's just a massive excuse for me to get more theater in my life. I'm very excited today. We have two very special guests. Sadrina Renee is here from the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York Incorporated's production of Berta. Hello, Sadrina.
Hello there, Patrick.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and Kim Crossway, who is playing Audrey. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Mrs. Roper? Who's Audrey? Audrey McDonald. She's playing
Audrey
McDonald. It's a stretch. Playing Audrey, of course, in Little Shop of Horrors. Hello, Kim.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is exciting. It's our second show of the new fall theater season. And again, I have two beautiful women. This is the third show in a row, I think, I've had all women.
Oh, heck yeah. Girl power.
Until we take over the country, I am having all women. That's it.
That's right. Hey, I like that.
That's it.
I like that.
I am planning a shattered glass ceiling party when we open Into the Breaches, so you'll have to come.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, November 9th.
Ooh,
Yeah, so maybe we'll have a decision by then. Everyone's like, I don't know if the election will be decided by November 9th. And it's like,
I'm just going day by day. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, we'll get to that later, but right now, talk about something that's in the news, and we brought it up earlier. Sadrina is very excited about an on-sale date for All In.
Yeah.
Yeah?
On Broadway.
Yeah. When's the on-sale date?
Okay, I should be getting a code at any second now.
Oh,
a pre-sale code. Yes.
Oh, no.
Be
Do you
jealous.
have your beeper on? Do you have a beeper?
My pager. My
yeah.
pager is going off. It's just waiting.
Yeah. My pager's on. It says the 80s are calling.
There's nothing wrong with that. The 80s were a good time.
So
Oh, yeah, they were a great time.
when we're finished with the podcast, you have to check and see if it's time for you
Yeah.
to get in the queue,
Yeah.
as they
To order
say
the
in
tickets,
London.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do they have a queue?
Absolutely.
Does Ticketmaster have a queue?
Yes.
Yes, they do now.
They do,
because-
right?
Yeah, along with
I
their
suffered
fees.
for concerts.
Yes.
Being in that queue, Taylor Swift was hard. I didn't get any tickets. I don't like Ticketmaster.
They wait for it. I mean, it's hours now.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally hours.
And then, when you
And
get
fees.
to the next in line, the site crashes. It happened to me 3 times. And by the time I got in, there was no tickets left. I was like, you're kidding.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
It wasn't meant
It's
to be.
okay.
It should be that.
It's still a deep wound.
Yeah, I was on a queue. I was on a queue last week. They're doing a production. I'm going to London for Christmas, and they
congratulations.
just announced a production of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and yeah. And I don't know who's in it. It's the guy from Barbie, not Ryan Gosling, but his best friend.
I know
what
who
is
you're
his
talking
name?
about, but I can't remember.
Anyway,
who it is.
so you are finding out about tickets because it's a production called All In.
Yeah, on Broadway.
John.
Yeah. Why do I keep saying Broadway? It's obvious that it's on Broadway.
The
Just so
Broadway.
everybody
The
knows it's
Broadway.
the Broadway.
The Broad-
Just in case no one knows what that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
The Broadway.
I'm good.
and it's with John Mulaney.
Yep. He's one of the actors in that. Lin-Manuel Miranda. But I'm waiting because I'm a huge fan of Sam Richardson.
Now, who's Sam Richards?
Okay, so he is a duo, a comedy duo, I would say, with Tim Robinson, who has a show on Netflix, which is probably one of my favorite shows of all time. It's a sketch comedy show called I Think You Should Leave. Please check it out. You will laugh.
great name.
It's like the most awkward skits that you'll see, but it's hilarious. Well written, well performed, and you'll be quoting them all the time. And so
Excellent.
I am obsessed with their duo. If Tim Robinson was in it, I'd be there every night. But I love Sam as well, so I'm going to go. And I'm waiting. And his tickets, he's not going to be in until January through February. So I'm going to wait to see it then.
Until
Yeah.
I might see it once before
okay.
with John Mulaney, because I do enjoy John Mulaney as well.
This is fascinating. I have a theater podcast, and there is a guest who has a ticket alert to buy tickets to someone I've never heard of.
Oh, see. Now you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
look.
You learn things.
Oh, see. You're welcome,
This is
Patrick.
educational, right?
Yeah.
So this play has a rotating cast of characters. No one quite knows what it is. The playwright, do you know the playwright's name?
No, I don't really remember the playwright's name. Sorry, I'm one of those. I'm
Yeah,
one of those
he's a
theater
writer.
people. Shame on me.
He's a writer. But he's a humorist, and I believe he wrote for a period of time for Saturday Night Live, and he writes for The New Yorker. I think humorous pieces, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bunch of short, like comedy about love, but it's comedy scenes. So
Excellent.
I think that's my understanding of it. They've been
Yeah, and the other cast members are like Jimmy Fallon and Richard Kind.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So when these tickets go on sale, do you know how much they'll be?
No, I do not.
Oh no.
And as some may say cheap, I say frugal person.
Yeah. You know,
We shall
when
see.
tickets have an on sale date and, you have to sign up for reminders, I'm thinking it's not cheap.
No.
I'm thinking.
But those
we
cheap
shall
ones
see.
are gonna go really fast.
Yeah.
But luckily, I'm on the pre-sale, Kim. I'm on the
I
pre-sale.
mean, I was on the
So-
pre-sale for Taylor Swift, and I didn't get any cheap tickets.
So did you have to join a pre-sale? Is there
Yeah.
pre-sale membership?
I did I did what everyone hates is joining a mailing list.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
But
Okay.
I joined a mailing list because I am intrigued. I want to see who they're bringing in. So,
No, that's not
but
bad.
I only
No,
sign up
it's
for
great.
things that I want to be notified about.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
great.
I just ignore my emails if I sign up for one of them, and I don't want to look at it.
Smart.
Yeah. So we were talking about how Broadway structures things and produces things now, and there's always been star casting, but now there's star casting with Robert Downey Jr. for whatever he's doing 3 months. Right, and that deal is all set up, and they're structured to make their money back, or hopefully, make a great profit off of. They know what they've got. Or there are these shows like All In, which have almost, it's not a rotating cast, but it's a very short period of time. People
Yeah.
play for 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
2 weeks. I think it'll be
1
like
week, 1
intertwined.
day.
Right.
Yeah. Which
Right.
will be interesting because then you can see a different cast and doing different things and probably different. I wonder if I don't know enough behind the scenes to know maybe they'll be changing characters throughout.
Yeah, I was gonna
you
say,
you
is it
never
the
know.
whole cast changing out, or is it like a couple
Yeah.
characters change out a night? Because that would throw me off a little bit.
And these are very different people.
Oh gosh, yes,
It's not like, they're playing
there's no
that
one type.
type.
Yeah.
No. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But it brings up the question of how much would you pay and for whom would you pay? And you'll find out. Sadrina
I'll let you know,
will get
Patrick.
back to us.
I did not. Kim, Patrick, I did not. order
And
this.
where in the theater would you like to sit?
As long as I can
Binoculars.
see a little bit.
I'm in the same room.
Or
I'm in the same room. So, Kim, you talked about going to see Merrily We Roll Along, and you got a student discount. Yay for you!
I think it was either a student discount or it was cheap because the understudy was on that day. It was still good. I loved that show. It was really fun.
Yeah. So, where were the seats?
Balcony, like really far to the left.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yep.
a visual thing.
Yeah,
People here
yeah.
can't see it. They were pretty good tickets. They were just pretty on sale because it was the first
Yeah.
time Daniel Radcliffe wasn't going to be there. And I don't know, all the Harry Potter fans were like, I don't want to go that day.
Yeah.
Or something.
No,
I was
well,
like, I'll
he,
go that day.
he
Sure.
won a Tony Award. Kim.
Yeah.
He's not just a film star.
Well, he hadn't won it yet when I went.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he's giving a Tony-winning performance.
that's right.
Oh yeah. This is a
Oh,
good
yeah.
show.
I saw him in Cripple of Inishmaan. He's a very fine stage actor.
Yeah.
He's got
I
chops.
didn't doubt him that much.
Yeah.
That much. I was a little worried singing wise, but no. What I've heard, I was like, yeah, he's cool. I still saw the understudy, so.
So can we ask how much you paid?
I feel like it was $70. I don't remember.
What? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I
I'm in.
don't really
I'm
remember.
in. $70 for a Broadway show.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting I saw The Outsiders and Great Gatsby the same day, and they were like $30 tickets because of the student discount. But I also it was like rush tickets too, so it was like a mix of that.
Yeah.
So I got there like a half an hour before Outsiders opened because that one was going to have more demand than the other one. So I was trying to go to the
He was a smart,
what's it called?
smart shopper.
I was trying to go to the day show.
You want to go to Broadway?
Yeah, we're going
It was
together.
it was my first time doing rush tickets. My other two friends were the ones who were kind of like guiding me through it a little bit. So, but we had like all planned this the day before. We're like, we're gonna go to the Outsiders one because they have a day show and it's more likely to sell out than the Great Gatsby one. So we were able to get our tickets and just like saunter on over to the Great Gatsby one. And they were like, oh yeah, we got so many tickets. Have some before the Sony
Saunter.
Awards, obviously. But like those were really good. Like towards the end of the semester when I was getting really broke, probably from going to all these shows, I was like, we gotta get all the cheap ones. I love rushing for tickets. I also, oh no, what was the show? It was the musical about like that painter, the lesbian painter, Lempicka. I won. It wasn't like free tickets, but it's the like raffle kind of thing where you get like super cheap tickets.
Yeah, $10.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
first time I had ever entered one of those, and I won first try. And me and my friend
for
were like,
you.
maybe we'll just go rush it if nothing happens. And I was like, no way. I like 10 in the morning. I was like, no way, Link, look. I sent him a screenshot. I was like, you're kidding me. But
Wow. We have to do a whole episode of cheap tickets on Broadway.
Yeah.
Bring Kim back and say,
Yes.
yeah, rush tickets and then the lottery.
Yeah, that's
lottery.
What
I'm
else
not
do you
a
have
lottery
covered? And these are all before you even go to TDF, go to the
yeah.
booth. Do you have TDF online?
not that I know of. I have this website
That
that
you
says
know of.
that says I guess
I have
that's
tons of
enough.
apps. I have no idea which ones.
You have to subscribe for it. So.
Of like my 22 tabs open on my phone. One of them, even though I'm not even like, because my school is only like 40 minutes from New York City by train, even less depending on what it was. I had a tab. I still have the tab open. It's just like a rush ticket website to see how much the rush tickets are. If you can enter online, if you can enter,
Yeah.
Oh,
or
like
if
a
it's
little
only in person. Like Book of
cheat
Mormon, we almost went to. That one you could do online, so that's why we were like, maybe if we don't get these tickets, we'll do that, whatever kind of thing. I still want to see it, but I just haven't gotten to it. And one of my friends, we had also seen. Spam a lot before it closed. Okay. That one we hadn't rushed for, but one of our friends it was a big group of us went, like eight of us went. He was like, oh, I could have gotten this so much cheaper for rush tickets. And we were like, okay, then explain what rush tickets are to us. And he kind of like helped push us there. And then all of us were just seeing like rush ticket things like the end of the semester.
That's what school is for.
I know, right?
That
Making
is what
connections
school is for.
about rush
How
tickets.
to get your cheap rush tickets.
Yeah, the liberal arts college.
Yeah. Better than anything else I
Yeah.
learned in school.
Life lessons, okay?
Yes.
Who needs
get
to
cheap
balance a checkbook?
tickets.
You need to know how to get
Right.
cheap tickets.
Existentialism. I learned about rush tickets. That's great. So that's a perfect segue into what school did you go to?
I went to SUNY Purchase. It's downstate.
Yep.
I went for theater and performance. They didn't exactly have musical theater, which is something that I should have looked more into when I decided to go there. But I had to like make my own kind of musical theater program with it. They have the acting BFA, which is like if you hear someone who's theater-y say, "Oh, I went to Purchase," that's what you assume they did. No, I did not go into that one. That one's really hard to get into. They do like 15 people a year for like each thing. Maybe like 20, but still like really, really extra slim chance for me to get in. And the theater and performance one, anyone can get in. So like I was able to get into that one, and that one is less structured, as in like the BFA, you like your schedule's all set out. You can barely take any extra classes. The other one is like I can choose to take more research classes. I can choose to take more performance classes. Obviously, I did that one. And and I could also take like the music classes and the dance classes that I couldn't take as a BFA major. So I was like, okay, this works for me because it kind of was like promoted that they did do musicals sometimes. Like when I went there, they were like, I was like, do you guys do musicals? And they're like, oh, we kind of do sometimes. And I was like, perfect. Yeah.
When the students produce it.
Yeah. So literally.
Or enough students who can sing.
Yeah.
Can perform in it.
That was what it was. It's like everything was already like if you're not a BFA or if it's not a main stage for the theater and performance, you're like not funded at all. So like you kind of have to just like figure it out, or like a lot of student written musicals happen since those are cheaper. You don't have to get the rights, but like it's still so hard, especially like finding musicians to play in the pit. Like all of the shows I did except for one were backing tracks. Like all the musicals that I did were backing tracks because like it's like although there's like it's arts college, like the arts programs are so separated from themselves. Like the music, you'd think the music people would hang out more with the theater people, like or the dance people, like that kind of like. You think of it like the friendships were mingling a bit, but not a lot of productions were mingling. Like my senior project was my capstone project. It was a musical. My friend Jenna Hernandez wrote the book for it, and my friend Andrew Alford wrote the music for it. And Jenna was a theater and performance major with a screenwriting minor, and he was a studio composition major. So this was this like big thing for the program. It's like the first time they almost like really had a merge of it all. Like all of the band people in the band, there was 4 or 5 of them, and most of them were either like studio composition or like guitar, jazz, like stuff like that. And it was really big for the theater department, considering like they were so terrified to have us do a musical. It was a to them full show is 90 minutes. Like you don't do 2 act shows here. So like they were so scared that it was a 90-minute, that it was an original piece, that it was a musical. They didn't really like musicals. But we were like, we have all this stuff. Please let us do it, please. And it happened. It was pretty good.
That's pretty.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes.
And those are the things that you learn in school. Is like when you're thrown these obstacles, and how do you get around them? It's not like these students in the BFA. They may have to audition for whatever production they're doing, but then they're handed the role, and they have the costumer, they have
once
the
they're
director.
in their troupe, they know they're going to
They don't have to
repurpose.
They don't have to make flyers and go around.
That's part of what they like advertise with the theater and performance when they're like, you learn how to make a show, but still they didn't really teach us a lot of it. So it's like you kind of have to figure it out and get really stressed along the way. But which is theater. I had stage literally.
So I guess that is their learning process. They're like, no, we know how to do it. We're just not going to teach. This is your learning.
You can figure it out.
So you can figure it out and have that stress.
I stage managed another one, but like the year before I stage managed, and it was a senior project, so like the seniors were also the producers. A lot of stuff got pushed onto me and the other stage manager, so it was like I kind of felt like I knew what I was doing a little bit when we went into it. And for my actual senior project, I was not only like one of the lead actors in it, like that's what I was getting graded on. I also was like, you know what? I stage managed before. I know how to. I can set design this, so we have less people to do.
Look at you.
I don't think I will set design again, but it happened, and it was like one of the nicest sets that the theater and performance people have ever done, because they're always like, oh, we have no money, so try to keep it minimal. And, I was like, oh, I'll make a house interior with all the walls and everything, and it'll be so minimal, because I had never done any set design. I was like, this is so easy. This is going to be so easy. And then because I was like, I like Animal Crossing. I like Sims. I like designing things. I think it'll go well. It was so stressful, but it came out looking really nice. Like, That's what purchase, at least of the theater and performance one, was. It's like you get to try a lot of things. Like I got to try stage managing. I got to try. I had already stage managed before, but like I got to branch out. I got to do a little playwriting. Like
I love how you're just glossing over all this. This is great. Like you have such a background that you're sort of just like glossing over. Give yourself some credit about
and
what
like,
you've done.
And I'm excited. You need to practice this in the capital region. Like
I know. I'm like,
give me a break before I set design again.
Where's the Crossway company?
I know.
I just came back. I just came back up. I already did a Mary Poppins. Now I'm in this other one. So it's like I'm doing a lot.
You did Mary Poppins at Fort Salem?
Yes, I was Katie Nana in that.
Very good.
And Dancing Doll and others. I was in like every single like group number. It was a lot of costume changes, and of course my very last costume change was like a 20-second costume change where I had to like rip off this and put on like
that's cruel.
A smudge for my whatever.
That's just cruel.
There's something about quick changes. I don't know. It just like
cruel.
Makes you feel alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, let's get it
like
done. And then when you
Yeah.
get it done with 2 seconds to spare, you feel like you've just won it. Like,
One or two quick changes.
I had
Not a quick change for your curtain call.
That's true.
No, come on.
No,
True. Why bother?
I'm done.
My curtain call one, luckily I had some time.
Okay.
Because there's like the finale song isn't like the end of the show. So then there's like a scene and then like Mary sings a sad like 30-second song. So I had time to like
30 whole seconds.
I was basically
30
almost
seconds.
Katie
Wow.
Nana.
That's not a quick change.
That's like five minutes.
No, it was
in
longer
theater
than that.
time.
Like there was a scene and then she sang for 30 seconds and then there was another scene. So I had time. But like my costume before that was basically the outfit that I had to be for bows, and then I had to quickly go back into the messy chimney sweep and then like take my extra 2 minutes or 3 minutes and just like, okay, let's get back into the Katie Nana outfit that I was just in, put all these clothes away, and then go stand in the back and wait for my bows. I said it like begrudgingly, but I had a blast.
Good.
My partner Chris and I, we were watching something and there was a quick change, and we were like, there should be a whole show of quick changes.
Oh, yes.
Just like,
that would be crazy.
It's like,
I was a dresser before,
Like-
and it's even more. To me, it's more stressful for the dresser, because usually you talk it through, you figure out what it is, and you're just like ripping clothes off people. You're like, you'll figure it out at the end. So. Yeah, I don't know what was more exhilarating.
a relationship between dressers,
yeah.
a dresser and a makeup stylist, and they
Yes.
have something going on while the actors run through and get
Yes.
stripped down.
Yeah.
Maybe a skit. Maybe not
Let's work on that, Patrick.
Maybe a one act.
Kim can set design.
Yeah, we'll just put like a little partition.
Just a backstage. Yeah.
All you gotta do is just design a backstage. That's it.
Curtains and rods. Yeah. So, Sadrina, you said you come from Virginia.
Yes.
Did you go to school?
I
or
did.
you
I went to school in Virginia as well.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up in a very, very small town called Big Stone Gap, Virginia.
That is pretty. Is that the
It's a
name
real
of a
thing.
novel?
It is. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, I used to work books. Yeah,
Oh my
Big
gosh,
Stone
yes,
Gap.
Yes. And then they made it into a movie too.
Okay.
Anyway, and they filmed it in
I didn't know.
my hometown.
Big
Well,
Stone
that makes
Gap.
sense. Yeah.
But I went to school at Radford University in Radford, Virginia, and it was probably the best time of my life. I majored in
pretty
theater.
rad.
It was pretty rad. Majored in theater, minored in dance. We did not have a musical theater department, but we did do a couple of musicals. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Excellent.
But yeah,
The
and
first
so
Broadway show I ever saw.
yeah. When was Urinetown?
Mine was
What's
Aladdin.
your first?
Oh, cute.
Oh, you went younger than us.
I'm
I know, I'm like,
22.
well, now we're really showing our age.
Yeah, I was a little older. Actually, I had my father's college had a bus trip, and they had two shows you could pick from: Peter Pan or Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And I was, 16. I was
You're like, well,
Best Little Whorehouse.
no, bro.
Duh. So anyway, Radford.
Yeah, Radford
And I
University.
love that you said that your best time was in school.
Yeah, I think those were my formative years. Like growing up in a small town, Radford also a small town, but for somebody coming from there was 50 of us that graduated high school together. We all knew each other, and to go to even though it was a smaller town, but it was big to us. Mm-hmm. But it was my formative years, sort of I was still close enough to home. I was about 2.5 hours from home if I needed to go home, you know.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But like far enough away to sort of start making bad decisions and learning from those bad decisions, you know, like, you know, life, you know, teaches you.
Bad decision bears.
Yeah. And then obviously just to have my friends that I still to this day are best friends with after all these years. And by all these years, I mean, like, you know.
And what were you majoring in?
I majored in theater. Now, I went because I was going to be a math teacher.
Girl.
And so I was going to major in math. Because growing up in a small town, they say, okay, well, you're never going to make it. No, theater. Don't do theater. Do communications, but make sure that it's something stable. Like it's all about
something
stability.
to fall back on.
Yes, something to fall back on. And so I was like, cool. I love kids. Let's math teacher. So I went my first day, and I was going to be a math teacher, so I was taking all advanced math classes. And I remember I walked into, I always tell this story, it's so hilarious. I walk in, they sit us down, and the first thing they do is like, clear your desk. We're going to do a quiz just to see where you are placement-wise.
I hate math.
So I sat down, and I sat down, and I was like, okay, awesome. This is fun. Okay, cool. Love math. So I started doing the first question. I was like, easy. I got this. I'm going to be the best math teacher in the world. Second question, I was like, all right, I got to think about that one. That one's interesting, you know. By the fourth question, I was like, what am I doing? Oh. And I walked up to the front. I gave the test to her. I was like, you know what? I don't think this is for me after all. And I marched over to the theater.
Oh, that was a very valuable quiz.
Yes, it was I was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to suffer?
Why didn't they do that on the school tour?
Right. Just take this. Let's see if you're really
guidance
committed.
counselor hand you that. That's funny. Yeah. And you were majoring in
theater. I went in as theater. So
yeah.
I didn't have that moment. I don't really like math, so I definitely wasn't going to be a math teacher going in.
I was on the phone. My nephew is going to purchase. Did I tell you this?
You did a little when I saw.
Yeah, he's studying opera performance, and
that one's really hard to get into.
Yeah, and he's in his sophomore year. He actually performed in an opera. Which
you told me this.
The whole family went to see this opera of Hamlet, which is not good.
I liked it, but my friends were in it, so maybe that was part of it.
I mean, Ophelia lives, and
wait, what?
Yeah, it's like a romance.
Did you watch the same opera I did? Because I watched her die. She fell through the tub and died.
Okay.
This can't be the same. Can't be the same.
If it's the same SUNY, there's only one SUNY purchase.
Yes. Now, we went to the same opera.
Did.
Anyway, so he goes back this year. I didn't see him all summer. He's working like 3 jobs. I'm like, why are you working 3 jobs?
Because it's hard to get money down there.
Well, anyway,
like, that's right.
He had a good summer. He had a good summer weeding. And he went back to school, and he gave me a call, and I guess he talked. But, he said, my teacher or something says, if you really want to make it in opera, you should be listening to opera all the time.
Oh, okay.
They're so strict in that.
And he goes, I never listen to opera. and I was like, okay. And he just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
He just wasn't feeling it. And I said, well, if you're not feeling it now.
You should switch now before it's too late. I got to my junior year and I was like, oh, okay, I'm stuck now.
Because, and also, it's like he was just starting his sophomore year and you're surrounded by your peers, everything's paid for, it's like, if you're not really enjoying this, it's going to be when you have to get an apartment and, pursue it.
Yeah, and pay for said apartment.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. So he's switching his major. He's
Good
going into psychology.
Oh,
Yeah.
now that's a
big
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that opera program is so stressful. My junior year, I lived with a bunch of opera majors, and I lived with 2 of them, and then all of the other ones would flock into the apartment, and they would be there every night. So I heard a lot of their woes. It's very that one, and honestly, the acting BFA and the dance BFA, they're all very strict, which is like the BA is nice and chill, but a little too chill.
But you want a middle ground.
I want a nice middle ground where I actually get some help, and I can still be a little free. It's fine. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of surprised by opera in the first place because I think he had a vocal teacher up here, but it's not like he went to a lot of operas or performed opera at Ravenna Queens High School.
Yeah.
He did Newsies and Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Less people were auditioning for the program a couple of years ago. Like my junior year, I told them I auditioned for the upper program and I didn't get in. And they're like, "Oh, if you audition now, you'll get in because there's no one who's auditioning." So it could have been a little bit of that. Like I didn't really do opera. I did chorus. We did some songs in other
Opera
languages,
takes a lot.
but like
I kind of figured that he learned a couple of arias, and
That's what I did.
they discovered he was good at it.
okay.
And
Yeah.
but and you have to learn different languages. and-
yeah, and you have to like study them. You have to take the language class, and then you'll take another class where it's like singing in this one, and you still have you have to extra study the languages.
Not to mention the breath control in general, just
Yeah.
to perform opera is also like that takes its own class to learn.
I have
crazy.
one line of Latin in my recent play, and it's scaring the hell out of me. So, anyone speak Latin?
No.
Yeah. Rats.
I am.
That's what I asked you here for.
Oh no! I
probably-
came with my
I
French
I had the
knowledge.
word. I had the word that you both knew Latin.
Pick Latin.
Don't tell my director. Yeah. So, what brought you to the Capital Region?
So I got married.
Yay!
Excellent.
Yeah, a long time ago. It's been years.
Yay!
And and had a baby boy who is 11 now. He's
What's
no
the
longer a
baby boy's
baby.
name?
Colton.
That's a cute.
I like that name.
And so I, that's what
It's like
brought
a
me to Capital
quarterback name.
Oh,
Yes.
Colton.
There are so many Coltons. My husband picked this name thinking that it was going to be so interesting and so different. Like my name.
great.
My name is different. And I was like, okay, sure, yeah. And then now the amount of Coltons. So my son plays for a baseball team, and he was playing. He was at bat, Colton. The pitcher was Colton.
No way.
And then the second baseman was Colton on the other team.
Excellent.
And so it was just a whole bunch of Coltons. So everybody's like, there's so many cheers for
Yay,
Coltons.
Colton.
And they're like, yay, Colton. I was like, who was cheering for
And
my son? I was
each
like, oh, his
individual
name is Colton.
Colton is like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna
like,
do
yeah.
it. They
I
love me.
got a crew here,
I'm sorry, I have another nephew story. My nephew,
yes, please.
Aiden White, at Ravenna Queens Selkirk, had another Aiden White in his class.
Wait, what? No.
They spelled it differently.
Yeah.
2 Aiden Whites. Come on now. So
When they were making the list, let's look out for the teachers, okay? They couldn't put him
1
in
and
another
2.
class.
Thing 1 and thing 2.
No.
I mean, Lord.
So you got married, you had a beautiful baby
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
baseball player,
Yeah.
and you moved to
Yeah,
Capital Region.
I've been here, yeah. So I lived in New York
That's
City.
where-
We met in New York City.
Excellent.
We were elves at Santaland.
Nice.
And we,
You know David Sedaris,
yes.
Santaland
Yes,
Diaries.
We wished that he would have come.
Is that
while we
all
were
true?
there. Oh, it's all true. It's all true. I mean, I think I've been out of it for so long. Surely my non-disclosure is done. I can say
There was
that
a
it's all
non-disclosure?
true. Yeah, there was. It was definitely hush hush. You're not supposed to say the things that happen. So
Wow.
What stays in
What
Santa's
stays
land?
in Santa?
Yeah.
Vegas down there.
yeah, and then we both. I was doing really well in New York City, but I was becoming a very hard individual. I like to be nice. I like to be kind. And I was just becoming very, very hard. The city kind
wears
of makes
on you.
you hard.
It wears on you. Then,
Yes.
7 a.m., you go to your job, whatever your job. I had good jobs, but you enter the subway. Just to get to work. Entering the subway. That's a hard life.
Yeah. And I mean, it was fun in my 20s, but as I got older, I was like, I can't. This is gonna wear me out. And so then we decided that I also wasn't home a lot. I don't know if you did a lot of tours. Like a lot of the work is not in New York City.
Right.
A lot of the work I was in Florida
you were
most of the
working.
time. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. Can you believe it? Or on tour.
Oh no, I didn't work. You were a working actor.
I was a working actor.
Oh.
Can you believe it? Not in the city, everywhere
wild.
else. But I was working.
No.
And it was like, well, what are we spending, what are we
Yeah.
spending all this money to live here in the city? And that back then we had gotten a very, very cheap apartment in Brooklyn, and we were paying $800 a month for that apartment.
Come on now.
Okay, that was a
Come on
steal.
now.
All right.
Yeah.
I would kill
get
for
that?
$800 now. Not
Did you have
literally,
a
not
lease?
literally. Yeah. I had a lease and everything. Yeah, it was in
That's
Brooklyn.
crazy.
Yeah. And so we found that, but I was like, it's still not, we were still struggling.
Yeah.
So we said it's time to go. And so he's from here originally. So I said, I don't want to go back to Virginia. I don't want to go that far backwards. But like, I do want to, go to still close to the city if I ever needed to go, still around diversity and nightlife and all that.
Yeah.
And so we ended up here
And how long ago was this?
12 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, we're lucky to
It's too late. Welcome.
Well, it's never too late. Okay.
Yeah. I want to be kind.
Yeah.
The happy
Hope you've settled
upstate.
in 12 years.
No, I still get lost. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Okay, I've lived here my whole life, and I
put the GPS
need
on?
Google Maps.
Yeah.
I
My-
need Apple Maps.
My partner is from California. He came out here. He went to Penn State, but he knows the capital region better than I. Yeah.
It happens. I have no location awareness, so
Yeah, my family used to call me Daniel Boone. I'd be giving directions, and I'm just like
Oh my God.
east, west.
my mom.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
no.
My mom always says
Left,
she needs to
right.
give me a globe so I can find where things are. I'm like,
Close your eyes.
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, and Kim, you were born here?
Yeah, well, where was I born originally? I don't
Can somebody get Kim's birth certificate? She don't know where she was
I'm
born.
trying to remember. It's just I don't know. Oh my God, where did I live? When I was the first 2 years, I lived a little bit away. But I've been in Capital District this whole time. I live in Glenville, so this was
Okay.
15 minutes away. But where was? Oh, I don't even remember where I lived. Maybe it was Altamont. I don't know.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Burton Hills. So
Okay.
we moved when I was 2. So it's I don't remember the first 2 years of wherever I was.
Why not?
I don't know.
Everyone remembers that, Kim. You.
I don't know.
How?
It wasn't very far away.
Emotional
it was
recall.
Altamont or something like that. It's oh my mom's gonna hear this and be like, oh, I'll be like, I'm sorry.
Comment. She can
I
comment
need
on,
the
on
globe.
your birthplace.
So, Burnt Hills. And did you do theater in high school?
Oh yeah, I
Were you
was
always
very dedicated
theater mad?
to the
Yeah,
drama
you
club.
went to Aladdin.
I did in middle school.
How old were you?
That was
middle?
I think it was 7th grade. So whatever age you are in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I don't do math.
Well, my son's in
13?
6th grade, 11, 12 or 13. Yeah.
Oh, probably 12. Yeah, I started theater in 4th grade. I had done dance a couple of years, and then my mom was like, you should try theater. And I was like, I'm going to be too good at theater. And then I did it. And I was like,
The confidence. I love it.
I don't know why I had that confidence just for that singular show.
And what?
And I haven't had it since, so I don't know.
That's
I don't know
not
what
true, Kim.
happened.
No, that is not true. You just
Yeah.
told us about all the stuff that you did, so that's not true.
Yeah,
The
right.
confidence is still there.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
She
Miss Set
set
designer,
designs.
stage manager, actress extraordinaire. You're just doing it all.
I'm really
Please.
good at acting. See, I just bluffed that I didn't believe.
Fake it till you make it.
That I could do it.
That's my
But
motto.
yeah, my first show was Pinocchio, and there used to be a little company called Burnt Hills Children's Theater, and the guy who wrote all the shows was the principal of Charlton Heights. I forgot his name, Sinnenbergs, I think. Yeah, Mr. Sinnenberg, and he would write his own versions of the plays to incorporate these hundreds of kids who were auditioning for these shows. So in one of them I was I was a beggar woman. I had 1 or 2 lines. Another one there was 10 narrators for Snow White, and I was narrator Kappa because my name started with K. But when I had that first show, I was addicted. So I did all the shows that I could. When I got to middle school, my first musical ever was The Little Mermaid Junior, and I just kept going from there. I think in high school I either I acted or I backstaged in every single show except for one. I don't know what happened then.
Did they do
took a
2 a
break.
year? Or?
They did 3 a year. So
year.
It's a lot.
So
That's ambitious.
one musical they had one play in the fall. So it used to be like the fall play was like a serious drama one, but then when I started going, it started to be in comedies, and I was like, cool, it works for me. I like comedies. And the February, March-ish is when the musical would be. So that's like the big one. And then at the end of the year, I don't remember what month, but it would be the student production. So like the high school drama club, usually like the officers are like producer, director, blah, blah, blah for that. So that's the show that they would put on at the end of the year. The other two were done by, if you know Eric Shova, he would direct those two. And Heather Darcy, who's his wife, would choreograph and stuff like that. One year we did two musicals. We did Peter and the Starcatcher, which is like it's a musical, but it's not exactly a musical. And then we did Thoroughly Modern Millie, and then COVID happened. But so we didn't get to do our student production that year. But it's a very artsy school district, honestly.
Cool.
The music and the theater programs are very they could always use more funding, but they're very good.
See, I don't understand that. Like when schools do a musical production and hundreds of people show up for it, and they have these bake sales with it, and I'm like, you need more funding. Like, how?
They're paying all those little actors. You didn't know that?
Oh, yeah, the salary. Yeah,
full salaries.
but I understand.
Yeah.
Musical rights are expensive.
Yeah. After I graduated, they like redid the theater itself, and I was like,
yeah.
Because actually, the Thoroughly Modern Millie had to be on the middle school stage because during the winter concert there was like what looked like little snowflakes falling from the ceiling, and it was like asbestos or something. And so then they're like, yeah, you guys have to go do your senior show at the middle school. And we're like, great. And then COVID canceled all the other shows.
So we changed the show to Frozen.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ouch.
It was still Thoroughly Modern.
Yeah,
Millie,
that's not good.
Oh, that's terrifying.
But then they redid it, and they added a bunch more seating. Like, I haven't seen it because I don't go back to the high school. Traumatizing. No, not really. But
it sounds like it
I'm baiting you like this.
You can tell us.
But they added
This is a safe space.
A lot more seating and like fancy stuff, and I was like, dang, you guys could have done that when I was there.
I love the high schools in the Capital Region. I think it's amazing what they put on. I've never been to Burn Hills, actually.
They do really good shows.
Yeah, and I think it's so great. And, the Jimmy Awards are here at Proctor's. And I made a list because I'm that way of I'm working on the Capital Region Festival of Theater. And I was like, we kept talking like over 60 companies, or, 70 or more. I have a list. So I went through the list last night. And the list, I have an email list that I send out to everyone, including like the podcast, Everything Theater. And I'm like, they're not a producing theater. So I wanted to just make a list of all the producing theaters. And I immediately, the first one on the list is a high school, Albany Academies. And I was like, am I including high schools? And I was like, yes, I am including high schools.
Yes.
But I don't have all of them. I only have, a number of them because I have their email contacts, And so I only have like 4 or 5 high schools listed.
Well, go text Eric Shova. You're like, hey.
Right? There are 26 school districts in the Capital Region.
Dang.
I do have Bethlehem.
good.
Yeah.
I figured as much. The Dashies.
Yeah. Bethlehem is huge in...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went to see Les Mis 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Les Mis. The guys.
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah, but...
they do a really good job of getting so many of the kids and students involved, too. It's wild.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
Yeah. Shenandoah last year, Anything Goes. They have what's on stage. Then they bring out the crew, which was at least the size of the cast. And then you had like a 50-piece band.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like 150 kids directly involved in the production. Yeah.
I kind of love that. Makes me very happy.
So the number on my list, I don't have Burn Hills. But
I'll put it on there.
You will now.
94.
I think you
Well
can get more of those
done.
high schools on there, make it 100.
No,
Yeah.
it would be 120. It'd be like, yeah,
Okay.
94.
That's amazing.
It
Good
is.
for you, Patrick.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You feel good? You
I
better.
do.
You should.
I do, because now I have a
I know, yeah.
number.
Yeah.
I don't have to say, oh, over 70. We have
Yeah.
over
You're like,
70.
a
We have
lot.
like 94.
Dang.
And it's not right. I always have
And
to
growing.
qualify it. Yeah. They're at least
Yeah.
94.
Yeah, that's
Want to see
awesome.
the 94? Here they are. So, Sadrina, you're in the Bethlehem School District.
Yeah, more my son is.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm going too.
I mean, technically, I'm a part. Okay, my heart and soul.
And he's a
goes to the-
baseball player.
Yes.
Any theater interests from him?
No, which is crazy. So he's in the middle school. He just went to the middle school, and we're trying to. Obviously, I know the Dashes, and so we're trying to get him involved because his dad was a former actor, and I'm still acting, and so it's like get out there. And he has at zero negative 40% interest.
Less than
Less
zero.
than 0% interest.
Oh, man.
And doing it. It's fascinating. Even his friends, we're like, oh, his friends, come on, friends. Like your friends are doing it. It'll be like fun. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I have another nephew, Alexander, who's my godson, and he's never seen me in a play. Yeah.
Wow.
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Usually my son, unfortunately, can't see.
He's a baseball-
plays. I can't.
he's a
and then
baseball player,
baseball
too.
player as well, so he's always at a game.
He's
But,
a baseball player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or was, yeah.
No, yeah, he's still going strong. Travel, baseball,
Oh, yeah.
all year long.
So
Just saying
in
yesterday.
the 12 years you've been up in the
Yes.
Capital Region, what have you done up here?
So I've done a lot of readings, a lot of that. But the big thing I did was in 2016, which was at Cap Rep, the Trip to Bountiful.
Ooh.
And I was Jessie Mae Watts.
Right.
I was the mean, sassy daughter.
Fantastic.
And
Nice.
so I did that. That's the last thing. That's the last and only thing that I've really done.
Yeah.
Because when I moved here, I sort of took a huge hiatus. But then it's like, in the words of Sarah Bareilles, gravity. Something always brings.
Yeah.
You
were
back to
great.
you.
You were great in that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that role. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun. I like being a villain.
But it's a tough play, and but you had all the humor. I mean, you were the antagonist.
Yeah.
But you were also relief because
Yay.
it was a tough family situation. There was no, happy resolution to it. But with this, elderly woman who, is in a bad living situation. But you were funny.
Thank you.
You were funny.
Thank
You
you.
were like, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to live with her, but I'm glad I'm watching a play with her.
Thank you.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. With Barbara Howard.
Yes, love her. Sweetest. Talk about
Kevin
it. Talk
Craig
about
West.
Yes. Yeah, he's all over the place. That is a man who works.
Yeah.
Kevin, if you're, I know you're listening. Kevin, you working? I love it.
Get that.
It was good. That was just. We had a great cast. Danielle Fulton. I mean, just a
Yeah.
great cast of all of us that were just. We loved each other. We loved on each other, and it was just.
It was a
fun.
fantastic production.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw you recently in the Theater Voices.
Yes. So Love, Loss, and What I Wore.
And you were great in that.
Thank you. That was another thing. I love all. We're talking about women and breaking the glass ceiling. I love. There's nothing like being on a stage with, 6 other strong women. It's fun to sort of tell stories, and
Yeah.
I feel like that play is just so good. Anyway, it writes itself.
Right.
Like those monologues write themselves. It's great.
It does feel, and not being a woman, but
Yeah.
it feels like very instructive in a way. Like, oh, I've never thought about it in that way, And it was like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why have I never thought of that? Because you're not a woman. It's not my lived
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
but it felt like very. At the same time, like where you could feel the audience identifying, like that's my experience, and I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Why have I never thought of that?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that was just.
and fantastic cast, and I love how you guys support each other. Like
Yeah.
I've seen Janine,
Yes.
because I've worked with Tiffany. Tiffany was in the Squirrels, and and
Love that, by the
Benita
way.
showing up, and then everyone went out to Springfield to see Benita and
Yes,
Sheer
we did.
Madness.
Yeah.
You were in that group. Love that.
Yes, support.
Yeah.
And we will. We can't wait to. We'll go with each other to see everybody
Yeah.
and everything.
Aw.
And that's really
To
like,
our last breath.
in the Capital Region, that's really like the mark of, a successful show. Whether, you hit your artistic marks or not, but it lives on, after the
Yes.
production, and you carry, those bonds and that feeling of support,
Yeah, and that's one of the. I'm sure Kim feels the same way. That's what we love about theater, is that that love that
the
we're all
connection.
having a shared experience, and every night is different. But it's only the people there at that moment, and even including the audience,
Oh,
that are
definitely.
living in that moment together. And we will never have the exact same moment ever again. And I feel like that's what I love about theater and being on stage, is that just like those little moments where it's like, oh, we'll never get this again, but it'll be different. We'll have it again, but it'll be a different experience, different audience, different
Yeah.
place in your life, different. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Call me a nerd, but that's how I
No.
feel about
Okay,
it.
nerd. I agree.
Yeah. It's my nerd. Yeah, no, absolutely. Berta. With Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York, how did they get so lucky to entice you into a two-hander? Who's your co-star in this?
Alvin Kershaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
So,
Alvin.
yes. So it'll be fun. We've been having a good time. It's obviously only the two of us. There will be no intermission. So when you sit down with your drink, make sure you have used the restroom and you sit down, and we're going to
Get real
hopefully
comfy.
make you laugh, cry, have a little
Yeah.
hope, all in under 90 minutes.
What's the story?
So it takes place in 1920s Mississippi, and Leroy, who is obviously played by Alvin, has committed a crime, and he's about to turn himself into the police. But before he does that, he wants to go see his long-lost girlfriend, Berta, one last time, and sort of just bury the hatchet, see what we can do to sort of say, this is my final and my last request before I go turn myself in and possibly never see her again. And so it's their story. And yeah.
And this is based on a song?
Yeah, so there's like a song, almost like a old Chain Gang song called Berta. So that song, you'll hear that. You'll hear that song. Spoiler alert: you will hear that song. I know. Now you don't want to come. Now you're done. But yeah, it's like a lot of the script and the way things are written specifically from pieces of the song, which is cool, and it's like in bold, so you know exactly where it is.
And who's the playwright?
Angelica Cherie. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I hope I am. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I read that she discovered the song when she was attending a August Wilson play.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know that story?
I did not know
Yeah.
that story.
I think it was the piano lesson, and she heard that song. And then when she researched that song, then this story,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
It's so
Isn't that awesome?
Like so awesome, and it makes sense of the way this. I feel like the story flows and the way she wrote the play. The play. Like, yes, I'm so happy to be a part of this, but like I'm so happy to say the words. Like every word she put in that play is said specifically a certain way, and you can tell it is. And it's just very, very well written, and I'm so happy to be a part of the show.
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're gonna laugh, hopefully. You're gonna cry. You're gonna hopefully
Yeah.
have a little hope too.
I can't wait to see the way that you, there was an acting teacher's recommendation, savor the words, make a feast of the words. And I just saw this in your description of it. I can't wait.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're working with Michael Lake,
Yes.
the
Phenomenal.
fantastic Michael Lake.
Yeah. Phenomenal director. I've seen before I even knew he was a director. I experienced as an actor.
Yeah.
And talk about a guy who can just he walks into a room. Not only is he like 7 feet tall,
Yeah.
and he's like a broad guy, but he's like such a there's something about his aura. He's just like a good
Yeah, he's
guy.
a sweetheart.
He's just such a good soul, and he just walks in and he commands the stage, and obviously he commands the place as a director too.
Yeah,
It's been
such a
enjoyable
great
work.
guy.
Yeah, so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim.
Kim.
And you are working on Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, in Rensselaerville, Arville Stage Creations.
Arville.
Yep.
That's how we pronounce it,
That's
Arville?
well, it's Rensselaerville, but like the
Yeah.
little
Oh.
unless
No,
I've been
there's
told wrong.
apostrophe in it. It's Arville.
Arville? I don't know. It's my first time working with them, so like Tara, if you're listening, I'm really sorry. If it's not pronounced, if I pronounced it wrong.
How else are you going to pronounce
I
it?
don't know.
Reville?
Reville.
Reville?
Reville. Like a little friend.
Arville Stage Creations.
Yes.
I visited for the first time last fall. Conklin Hall. Is that where
Yes.
you're performing?
It's like we're performing there. It's like a little old church that's been transformed into like a community center where sometimes shows happen. It's kind of like how Fort Salem's in a church. I'm seeing a trend here. It's not an actual trend, but it's like, wow. It's kind of small, but it's like we're going to make the most of it. We've been practicing at a different place, like just around the corner. I forgot the name. I don't remember any names, if you're noticing.
Now that is a trend. Kim.
Yeah.
Speaking of trends,
I don't think the building is going to be hurt by that.
No, I think the building will be fine. But it's been going good so far. Our like off book day is today, so don't worry. Like I very much was going through them the other day, yesterday. It's been really fun. It's a lot of like sweet people. Like instantly, like everyone was so kind. I was like, oh. Because I've been in shows where there's drama even like the first 2 days, so it's like like sweet to see everyone like just wanting to do stuff. Like a couple people have like been like, oh, I got this pack of stickers and I wanted to give it out to everyone. Oh, I brought pizza and stuff. And I'm like, oh, guys, you guys are so sweet.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
And is it Rachel is there as well? Or
Rachel is producing it. Producing it.
Excellent. Yeah, I went out there. Golf. Death by Golf.
Death by Golf, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I saw pictures, but
it was just like very much like Fort Salem in some ways. Like you drive, and
it's a drive.
like, and you're like into these towns, and you're seeing these signs, and you're passing these fields. Like, where the heck am I
going up
going?
really, really high hills, and you're like, I hope I make it up this hill in this car.
Yeah, and then you walk to this little meeting house, and the place was packed, and it was a diverse audience, and
great.
was. And they had like home baked goods at the concession. Yeah.
I haven't seen a show yet. This is my first one.
Yeah,
with them,
no. It was a fantastic experience, and that's again like these little communities that have these arts experiences that are part of the lifeblood of the community. Like it seemed like everyone in town had to be at this event, so it was really fun.
Yeah, for this one, a lot of like people spread out are coming here too. Like I know Jerry Green, who's playing the dentist, he lives in Massachusetts. He drives like a long time to get to it, and then I'm like a 50-minute drive. Like it's a lot of people who are spread out or haven't done it before, so it's going to attract like even more audience, because it's like, oh, my friends who are in Fort Salem might want to take some of them do, but want to take the like 2-hour drive it would be to get there. Good luck to you guys. But
I got a secret for you. Not everyone has a community like ours.
That's true.
It's
true.
We've had actors. Tiffany drives from like Pittsfield.
Oh, yes.
And Tess McHugh comes from Williams, Massachusetts, and it's like for what we have, not that but we have a lot of opportunities that are not in a lot of communities,
I agree.
And people travel, They should move, but no, but I mean, I'm glad that they come, and I'm glad that we have it for them. But it also points out, like, what we have is very, very special. And it should make us value it and support it all the more.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Berta is going up in the Iceland Black Box Studio at the Rep. Dates.
October 17th through the 27th. It's 8 shows total. Thursday and Fridays at 7:30, and then Saturdays and Sundays at 4 p.m. So we'll get you out. 4 p.m. shows, you'll be out by 5:30, have an early dinner.
Go see another show.
Go see another show.
I
Or a concert or whatever you feel to support the arts. Yeah,
I love the 4 p.m. matinee.
Yes, I know. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yes, don't mind if I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Innovation on Remy's part.
Love it. I love Remy.
Yes. Yeah, where did he
Brilliant.
come up with that? The 4 p.m. matinee. He must
Maybe
have.
that's why. Maybe it was because he's like, oh no, I want to be able to,
He's gotta
do this show and then go see a show or be in a show right after that.
Oh yeah. I love that. Right.
Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
I know when we were scheduling the cast party at
Yes.
Cohoes Music Hall, October 27th, the closing date for both your shows.
Yes.
That we had to make sure that your cast could make it over.
And I said, heck yeah, we even have time to get all dolled up and ready to go.
Kim
come
is,
over.
Kim is
The set.
wincing here.
I know.
But
you
we
can't-
have to
you
be
guys-
there
you
to
guys are-
strike and stuff. That
No,
I
no.
was like, no, I wanted to perform at it too. I was like, dang.
Oh, no.
We'll send a group over to help you strike.
Oh, my goodness, could you imagine?
We'll just
that's-
tear that down.
Yeah.
Pack of matches.
5 minutes.
No, that's all
You
they
don't- do you
got.
need
You
this?
can't burn
Do you
that
need-
theater down.
You don't need this, though.
Yeah, another thing that builds great performances are the quick strikes. Like we had a strike for Maggie May, which was like half an hour.
Really?
Yeah. We had to wait for our dinner reservation. Yeah, the strike was done too quickly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
And Little Shop of Horrors is going on.
Same dates.
Same dates.
But only 6 performances. So it's the 18th, 19th, 20th, 25th, 26th, 27th kind of thing.
So you
October.
have a
It's this-
Thursday?
Yeah, we have Thursday.
Yeah, so it's just Friday, Saturday, Sunday for ours.
Excellent.
Yeah. Pretty solid. Like 2 weekends. That sounds
At
good.
Arville.
Yep, Arville
Stage Creations. Actually, it's performed in Conklin Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great job.
Conklin Hall.
Yeah. So now we have come to the moment in the program when I ask the play that changed your life. Who wants to go first?
Oh.
What's that?
Not
Okay.
it.
Oh, not it. I
Not
thought
it.
I thought you were saying that you were it.
No, touching your nose was not it.
I think that's Bewitched. I think you're trying to make
Yeah.
something disappear.
Wait, was it
What
in her
is-
nose? How did she do that?
Not it.
Yeah, not it. Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
So the play that changed my life would probably have to be Ain't That the Blues, Mr. Piano Man. Now, you guys are looking at me because you've never heard of the play. And it was because it was my high school one act that I was in. And my friend Ben Bowling wrote that play. He was 15, 16 years old, and he wrote a play in, now I'm really going to age myself, in, 1990, whenever that was, about race relations. And it was based on Bessie Smith. I played Bessie Smith. And it was a musical, and it was something that had never been done in Virginia, let alone, and it tackled race relations, it tackled class, it tackled everything. And I remember I had never been in a play before. I had obviously been in things at my church. I was always a singer. They always put us up in the choir. I was always belting my face off. Or I was an angel in the Christmas play, but I had never really done a play before. And Ben knew me, we were friends, and he's like, I wrote this play and I want you to be in it. And I said, well, I can't act. I don't know what you're talking about, And he's like, no, you can do this. You can do this. Now, mind you, there wasn't a lot of black people in my high school anyway. But like, I think that to play a character and to play a historical figure like Bessie Smith was also interesting for me. It was my first research. Like all of that just sort of came into it. And it changed my life because I remember I was so nervous and I was so scared because it was my first play. but I did it anyway. And I remember at the end of that play just thinking to myself, this is what I want to do. Like I was about to graduate and I had no idea what I was going to do. Yes, I was going to be a math teacher. But you know what I mean? Was that something that I was like, yes, it was just logical for me, right? There was a math teacher was a logical thing. I enjoyed math and I enjoyed kids and I could make that work. But like to be on that stage and to be with my friends and to sort of tackle these big, huge things. And at that time, we weren't even thinking that, right? Because we were all friends. We didn't care about class and culture and the color of our skin. We were just sort of just like, this is the story. Let's tell this story. And yeah, so I just remember that that's the play that changed my life. So if Ben's listening, I'm going to tell him to listen. Mm-hmm. If Ben's listening, he changed my life. And he's still that brilliant man in his 40s now, but still that brilliant man who wrote that play at such a young age. And I don't even think he realized, maybe he doesn't even realize how much it touched me. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's
yeah. That's extraordinary. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, mine is a musical. Sorry, but
that's good. We love musicals.
Bessie Smith was a musical.
Yes,
oh right,
it was a musical. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm so tired. I got up at 8:30, which is early for me.
It's also off book day, girl. I know that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just chalk it up to that. It's off book day.
Cut that.
I can't believe you're here on off book day.
I know. I should have slept in.
That's how I learn lines.
Yeah. But it was one I did recently. It was back in February. I did a musical called Ride the Cyclone. It's got a cult fan base that are like people my age or like high schools. So it's among people my age is like very well known, but a lot of people haven't really heard of it. So it's.
Do you know it's Sadrina?
Mm-mm.
No. So it's, to vaguely like summarize it, this group of choir kids go to an amusement park for their competition, and like a little bit before their competition happens, they get their fortune told by a fortune-telling machine, and the fortune-telling machine tells them to ride the cyclone. So they ride the cyclone, and it derails, and they all die. You don't see that part, but you hear about it. And they find themselves in like a limbo state, being controlled by the animatronic that gave them the fortune. And he's like, I have the power to bring one of you back to life. You have to pick. And there's like 5 characters, 5 of the choir students, and there's a guest competitor, because it's kind of like a competition is how they word it ish. And that one is the secret 6th member of the choir who, when the thing derailed, her head got cut off, and so she was deemed Jane Doe because no one could identify her, and the teacher of the choir also died, so no one identified her. It's a little blurry as to why the other people in the choir didn't remember her, but that was Jane Doe. That was the character I played, and they had to, through a mix of sing, dance, and monologues, prove why they should win. I'm better than
Defend
you.
Your
One
life.
of them all. Yeah, or this is what I wish my life would be. It could still be that. And my character Jane Doe, she is, since she doesn't remember anything. She was never identified. She doesn't remember anything. She doesn't have any emotions. She is replaced, or her head is replaced by the head of a doll in it. That's what it is traditionally, because she's emotionless. And it's usually a porcelain doll. It's how her movements are. We did Raggedy Ann doll because I have the red hair. I was I paid for this, so we're gonna do Raggedy Ann. Not exactly that, but it was the first show where I felt really extremely connected to everybody. I had literally the day before the second day of auditions, I had escaped from a really abusive relationship. He had this guy had told me you're not allowed to do any more shows besides your senior project show, because I had done too many the year before. That's when I did stage managing and then all this other stuff show choir. He's you can't do it, and I literally was maybe he'll let me do this one. And then it got to a point I was okay, perfect. Not perfect, I was crying, but like I escaped it. He like isolated me. I had like no friends. And it was my senior year. I had no friends. I had vague friends. Like I have people who I'd done the shows with, but I didn't really connect with them kind of thing. Because I had to go right back home after rehearsals kind of thing. But like even just callbacks helped me and my friend Link. Oh my God, I'm so horrible. Why can't I remember my friend's last name? My friends Link and Spencer, we got much closer after that because we had been called back for a scene together, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to practice together? And those two, and then the rest of the cast like instantly bonded. Like even after the show ended, we've had like a super active group chat, the most active group chat I've ever been in. We hung out like every Friday night. We saw all those shows together with the Rush tickets, like I was talking about. And like we were making little gifts for each other, like opening night. One of the cast members had made personalized bracelets for everybody that said like your character, like Jane, and it had your character's colors and stuff like that. And it was so sweet, and I miss them very much because like a lot of them went back to school, so I don't get to see them. They're all like doing stuff again. But like I had finally found a connection when I had basically nothing until senior year, because freshman year was COVID, so I didn't do anything. Like I didn't really know anyone. I was stuck at home. Sophomore year, I was still recovering for COVID. Like now COVID had dampened my spirit. Like I didn't feel like I had like the confidence to do anything. And then junior year, I had a guy who wouldn't let me do things, and when I did them, I get yelled at, kind of thing. So it was really sweet to at least finally have that connection. And that's why I really liked Merrily when I saw it, because me and my friend Link saw it, and we were watching this, like holding on to each other. We're like, this is us, minus the fallout. But they're like, this is us. Like we had so much fun seeing it, and I just I don't know, the cast was so connected with it, and we just kept doing shows together for the rest of the semester, and like kept seeing each other. Like none of the people in that cast were in my senior project, but they all came to see it. Like the final dress rehearsals, so we could have people in the audience, and it was just so sweet. And they had like a hangout the other day because most of them live downstate, and I was like, well, I'll be there in spirit, guys, kind of thing. But I don't know, it was a really like good connection that I needed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right time.
Yeah.
When you needed it.
And reinforces the notion that was brought up by Love, Loss, and What I Wore about the connection between the cast, and that theater is this community building, for us, with our castmates, and and you'll carry that through life.
Yes.
It was great connections that were made, for sure. Theater is love.
Yes.
Yeah, which we're building a theater festival, Capital Region Festival of Theater, planned for June of 2025. It's going to be a 4-day affair from June 12th through June 15th. And to kick that off, to reveal some plans, we're having a cast party on October 27th at Cohoes Music Hall. There'll be light fare and performances from Capital Region stars of today, yesterday, and tomorrow. And we're going to have a huge group photograph and reveal some plans of what's going to happen in June of 2025. So I hope you'll come. If you can't come to the cast party, you can always donate at www.crft.betterworld.org. Thank you so much, women of the Capital Region.
Woo!
That's right. Let's go shatter a ceiling.
Yes,
we have Little Shop of Horrors at Conklin Hall on
October.
Where am I? I'm going off to my
27th.
show. October
Yes.
18th through the 20th.
17th, right? Wait.
No, she's the
No, I'm
17th.
17th.
You're
It's the same
17th.
You're
thing.
Friday.
You're 18th.
Okay, no, yeah, you're right.
October 8th.
Not November, but you're right.
October 18th through the 27th.
Yes.
And Sadrina Renee is in Berta, the Capital
Oh, yeah.
Region premiere with Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York in Island Hall at the Rep. October
Yep.
17th through 27th.
Preach it.
8 performances, 6 performances. Catch them. You must see them. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. This is
Thanks for
wonderful.
having me.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, we're besties
we're
now.
besties.
Yeah. Now
Now you
let's
have somebody
go.
else to love and have connection with.
There you go. And thank you all for listening, watching, and I'll see you all in the theater soon.
I don't know.